Vietnam with his family to the United States in 1975 as a political refugee upon the fall of Saigon. He received his commission as a U.S. Army infantry officer upon graduating the University of South Carolina in 1987, serving on active duty for 34 years. Throughout his career, Long has commanded at the rifle platoon to the flag level and participated in numerous operational and combat deployments. Outside of combat, Long also served in critical important strategic assignments, including tours as Deputy Director for Pakistan-Afghanistan Coordination Cell, where he assisted the chairman of the Joint Chiefs in shaping national policy for the region. Most recently, he has served as the Commanding General of the U.S. Army Japan from 2018 to 2021. He's making me nervous. He's looking at me up here, guys. In this capacity, he effectively operationalized his command and improved U.S. Army force posture in Japan in the face of superpower competition against near-peer adversaries in the region. General Long lives in Frisco with his wife, Kimberly, and their 3 children, daughter Ashley and sons Brandon and Justin. Please help me recognize and honor and give them a big welcome. Frisco VFW Life Member, Major General Viet Long.
Fellow patriots, good evening. It's truly an honor for me to be part of this incredible gathering, honoring our Vietnam veterans. It is also an experience of a lifetime to be in the presence of Generals Carey, Livingston, General Campbell, and I know Captain Robert, he's hiding out there somewhere. That's another medal honor winner. It's great to be here. I also want to recognize the fellow family, especially the veterans. Thank you for being here, and you really honor us. I want to take this moment to recognize the veterans of our allies in South Vietnam that are also here showing up as peaceful around. This week marked the 49th anniversary of the fall of South Vietnam. For the Vietnamese diaspora, the 30th of April remains a day of mourning. My family and many of the Vietnamese Americans present here today left everything behind on that fateful day in pursuit of freedom. Unlike tens of thousands of those less fortunate, my family of 10 was fortuitous enough to be rescued by General Carey and his Marines onto the deck of the USS Hancock. Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of fellow South Vietnamese followed suit in rickety boats across hazardous waters in the following years. More than 300,000 people lost their lives at sea. The remaining, particularly those with ties to South Vietnam military or government, were murdered wholesale or placed in concentration camps for years. Their families were sent to new economic zones to dwell in the most godforsaken lands on the edge of civilization, with many of them starving in the process. My family was one of the lucky ones. After being extracted by Marine CH-53s from Tan Airport, we landed after a short flight. We had no idea where we were. Many thought we had landed on some island off the coast of Vietnam. I remember tugging on my father's shirt and asking him where we were. He said we were embarked on the USS Hancock, which is a U.S. carrier. I didn't really understand what that meant, but I asked him again, what does that mean? And he said, this means that nothing in this world can harm you now. Almost 50 years later, I'm still deeply touched by that singular, momentous occasion. And in many ways, I'm largely shaped by that experience into the person that I am here today. And after living in several refugee camps, we arrived in California. with $200 and shirts on the backs, we started our new life in Los Angeles. At first, it was not easy. You know, living in poverty and living in a foreign culture without speaking the language is never easy. With my parents' extraordinary sacrifices, coupled with America's generosity and near endless opportunities she provided, all 8 of us went to college. In 1987, I graduated from the University of Southern California and commissioned as an infantry officer in the U.S. Army. This, to me, was a small way of repaying my family's debt to our great nation. Many other Vietnamese Americans followed in the years after, particularly after the attack on our nation on September 11th. And one of the lingering questions that others have often wondered about is why would people like us leave a war-torn country to go to another country and fight? Frankly, we didn't come here to fight. We certainly didn't come here to die. But as transplanted Americans, we unequivocally believe in President Lincoln's assertion that where liberty dwells, this is my country. So when it comes to defending our great nation, we will not take a backseat to anybody. Demonstrably, our sacrifice has been great. Our war with Iraq and Afghanistan, 13 Vietnamese Americans have made the ultimate sacrifice, and scores wounded in the defense of our nation during those wars. You see, America to other Vietnamese refugees is what the USS Hancock was to my family. A brilliant beacon of humanity and liberty, one which we readily put our lives on the line to defend. Perhaps the words of Adlai Stevenson sum it up best when he said, quote, when an American says that he loves his country, he means not only that he loves the New England hills, the prairie, glistening in the sun, the wide and rising plains, the mountains, and the sea. But what he means is he loves an inner air, an inner life in which freedom lives, and where man can draw a breath of self-respect. For me, Afghanistan and Iraq were too close and personal. I know some of you have served with me in those places as well. It is still very incredibly difficult for me to speak about my experience there. But I can sum it up by agreeing with the great General MacArthur when he said, I do not know the nobility of their births, but I know the glory of their deaths. And to the Vietnam veterans present here today, I hope you are proud of our service, because we did our best. As we gather here in honor of 58,220 fallen heroes in the Vietnam War, many of us will be thinking about our fallen warriors from the recent wars, all of our Gold Star families, and our 250,000 South Vietnamese allies who have also laid down their lives fighting by our side. May we continue to live our lives in a manner that is worthy of their sacrifice. So tonight, I also have the distinct honor of introducing our guest speaker, Major General James E. Livingston. The honor is twofold. First, it is a tremendous honor to be in the presence of a national treasure. Actually, we have 3 of them. Robert being the other one, and General Carey is one of our living national treasures as well. Secondly, it is an honor to personally thank General Livingston for saving my family and tens and thousands of other Vietnamese Americans during Operation Frequent Wind, because he was also there under the command of General Carey as well. And I hope that the Vietnamese American collective contributions to our country is worthy of their sacrifice. General Livingston received his commission in the United States Marine Corps upon graduating from Auburn University War Eagles in 1962. After service as a rifle platoon commander and several subsequent billets, he was promoted to captain in 1966 and assumed command of the Marine Detachment aboard the USS Wasp. In August 1967, he joined the 3rd Mardiv in Vietnam, and on the 2nd of May 1968, he found himself leading E Company 2nd Battalion 4th Marine in fierce combat against a determined enemy at the fortified village of Dai Do. The company's mission was to relieve a sister company that had been cut off from the rest of the battalion. Leading his company from the front, Livingston maneuvered his Marines through 500 meters of rice paddies under intense enemy interlocking fires. Wounded twice by shrapnel, he refused evacuation and continued to systematically clear more than 100 bunkers alongside his Marines under withering enemy fire. After successfully seizing the objective, E Company passed through another Marine company for the final assault on an adjacent enemy position located in the village of Ding To. When that assault stalled due to heavy enemy resistance, with total disregard for his own safety, Livingston rallied his remaining Marines and joined his sister Marine company in successfully taking the objective, receiving his 3rd wound in the process. For his intrepid action, courageous leadership, and extraordinary valor in the face of an unrelenting enemy, Livingston received our nation's highest honor, the Congressional Medal of Honor. General Livingston went on to serve with distinction over the following 3 decades, concluding his magnificent career as the Commanding General of the Marine Forces Reserve. Sir, it's a tremendous honor to be here in your presence, and on behalf of VFW 8273, Mayor Cheney, and the City of Frisco, you all please help me with a warm welcome to General Livingston.